I really wanted to cover two things today. Number one, I want to target the levels that I have in TA using our bots, so we can know exactly the price levels we want to DCA into the markets. Specifically for the top 10 coins, just the largest ones people always like to buy, and we know that at some point they're going to do well in this cycle. So I wanted to set those up. And I also have a few other bots that I have set up for coins that I haven't put into my long-term portfolio for a while. But because, we are likely heading into an altcoin bull market, these will still do well. So for instance, BNB, we covered 2 live streams ago how it's at a very good level compared to the rest of the blue chips. We covered Cardano, we covered Tron, Dogecoin, even Hyperliquid. I think it's kind of overvalued, but still in a bull market, it will do okay. So these are the coins that I have put new levels on, as well as the good old Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. I have updated our price ranges that in order to buy the dips using our bots and using TA, and I'll show you guys all the charts today. So welcome to the live stream, everyone. Let me just check on the sound and chat really quick, and we will get started. Okay, let's go. So as you guys know, I'm really focusing on the large caps right now because we are in a altcoin month, like I've been saying, right? I talk about this every single stream so far, right? We have seen 4 weeks of consistent Bitcoin dominance going down now. However, this week is very crucial as we are near the 50-week simple moving average, which was the key support point that made Bitcoin dominance bounce in the election hype wave. So this is getting pretty key, and you see we are actually bouncing a little bit, which is I would definitely have preferred for us to go a bit lower and close the week below 50-week SMA, but not anything to worry about too much yet. Again, this candle just started on Monday. Today is only Wednesday. Okay, so we have plenty of time to go. By Sunday night, we could, for all intents and purposes, get below the moving average again, right? And that would be awesome. So with that context, right, we are not fully confirmed for like a multi-month altcoin season yet. We are doing pretty good this month, but whether it lasts 1 month or multiple months, like 6 months to a year, like a 2021 style altcoin season, that still is a question on the table. So because of that, I personally want to focus on large caps and the blue chips, right? And the actual blue chips. I'm talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BNB, Cardano, Tron, Doge, Hyperliquid, basically top 10 to top 20s. And I'm just taking my time and putting the right buy levels in on these blue chip coins so that, number one, if we get some sort of bounce on Bitcoin dominance, that's fine, right? These coins will go down a little bit. And I know that they're all coins that existed multiple cycles now, and they're like hundreds of billions in valuation. So they're not going anywhere. They're going to pump eventually. So the downside risk isn't like a mid to low cap where if we don't have an altcoin season, they risk dying. These things are not going to die. And they help curb my FOMO because, I know that because we are still pretty early in some of these things, for example, like on BNB, this is still like at bear market lows compared to Bitcoin valuation. So for BNB, for example, it has so much upside to run compared to the rest of the market that, like, look at this. It's 3x away from 2022 peak in BNB Bitcoin ratio. So if you can buy the largest, most dominant crypto exchange out there, their own coin, for this, like, why would I risk, extra returns, and how much extra returns can I have, right? So That's my thinking going into this. And that's why I really want to start off with the blue chips and really nail these buy ranges. So let's get into it. Let's get into the ranges. Let's start with Bitcoin directly. Just the same old charts you guys already know. Every time it dips to 20-week SMA, that's value. So right now it's right around 99.8, 100K. So 100K is turning into a very pivotal point. But the bull market support that needs to hold now is at 89,397, this number right here. So that's what I have used in our bot. When we first set it up, that level was around 84, 85,000. Now that's at 89. And that's why I have adjusted my bots. So for all of our bot stuff, you can check the link in the description for for a tutorial of how to use the Poundnex trading bots to set up your price ranges. And there is a spreadsheet covering the current bot setups for their low and high ranges, the extra investment ratio you need to make the bots safe from liquidation, and the link to copy. And I also have a update log that I have actually caught up with updates. So when we first set it up, that low range was 85,896. I have changed that yesterday to 89,380. That's right here. And that is basically this level, the SMA of this week. So this bot, for those of you that haven't watched the video tutorial, the bot will buy a bit of Bitcoin once you go into it right away, and then it will set a bunch of orders, continue to buy like this until this level, 89,396, and then it will hold your position. And similarly on the upper range, that's 200K. So what the bot will do with these positions is it will sell, but with a lot more orders because the high end range is at 200K. So it will sell a little bit slowly than the buying, and then all the way until 200K. That's what it does. And the good thing about these bots is that once the orders are hit, they don't disappear. What happens is, let's say, Bitcoin chops a bit like this. As long as it chops, it actually consistently generates profit because it will buy, right? And then let's say it buys here at 110K. If it goes down to 105K, the buy order at 110K turns into a sell order. So it's always arbitraging the volatility. So whenever market chops, the bot actually does better than just holding. Bit of context for you of why we even use these bots. Other than to just DCA, it helps you generate extra profits as well. So that's on Bitcoin. And just to show you a little bit of how the bots have been performing as well. So this is the current bots that I have. There are now 12 bots that I have set up, some new ones as well. And the Bitcoin bot, we started with 3,500, if I'm not mistaken, $3,000 of investment on July 1st. And currently that is worth 3,386. You'll see the total profit doesn't show on the P&L. This is because I have compounded the investment here into the bot itself. So you see these are whole numbers. I'm going to show you how the compound works in a bit. You see how the Ethereum is 1,500, Solana is 1,500, matching our initial entry here, the amount. Whereas the Bitcoin one is this. It's because it's 3,000 plus the 386 that I have put into it. And that 386 is the whatever percentage. I don't know why it doesn't show the percentage here. It's this. It's since the compound, it was up 13.82%. Not bad. It's not a crazy magic bot. It will do pretty good in a slowly choppy and trending up market. That's what it does. And that's why we have these far ranges as well, because we want to hold this for very long term until the market ends. Okay. So that's on Bitcoin. Now moving on to Ethereum. We were looking at these levels yesterday, these resistances that have been tested 3 times since March 2024. And we are coming into it. And maybe this is a rejection. If there is a rejection and some sort of correction, even from yesterday's Ethereum video, I was covering how this uptrend is very important. This is a weekly uptrend. So 2 things needs to hold. Number 1, this, what do you call this? Support band between the 20-week and the 50-week moving average. The 20-week needs to cross over above the 50-week first. And then once it comes down, the 20-week becomes your ideally value range, whereas the 50-week should be your bull market support. And because we haven't had enough time while this has happened yet, as you see, the 20-week, 50-week have been just going crisscross like this because it has been so choppy for Ethereum for 2 years. I want to use this higher low here as the current bull market support because we have this low, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now a new higher high. So we need another higher low here. And that needs to hold above candle close 2200, candle wick 2100. So I have used the 2200. I'm just going to show you the bot here. 2200 as the new price range right here. Let me move myself. 2200 as the new price range right here. And the same 10,000 take profit target by the end of the cycle. And that is updated on here as well and in the bot settings. Everything else is the same. Now, I'm going to show you how to compound this because I haven't done this for the Ethereum bot, and I'll just show you what that looks like. So as you can see, the Ethereum bot is up 70% with $1,050 of profit on top of our $1,500 investment. So what you can do is 2 things. First, you should adjust the price range if you want to follow my setup, my TA. So you click on more. The bot, if you don't have it grouped, it will be on this left side here, but it's the same panel. So you click more, and then you have these same settings. You click edit price range, and you would change this to 2200. Everything else stays the same according to the settings I have in the sheets. And then it will give you this option of, do you want to compound your profits? You have a choice here. If you want to compound the profits, again, I'm going to do so because I don't want to open too many altcoin bots yet. You can choose confirm. If you don't want to, then you just don't click this compound option. But when you change the price ranges, it will also ask you, do you want to compound? You just click no. And then this is what it will look like after. So if I do the compound, the investment amount will then become 2,580 and instead of the 1,500. So if you don't want to compound, what you can also do is release profit. This will take out the profits that you can put into another bot to open up on another altcoin if you want, or even increase the investment in another coin. So for example, like I can take the profits from this, invest into Bitcoin bot, invest into Solana bot, whatever. You can play around with this if you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and compound and show you guys what that looks like. Confirm. Okay, and you see the actual investment went up from the 1,500 that we started with to now this total 2,578, and you see the total profit actually gets reset. So this is basically a constant process that we will go through with these bots. I'm not sure if it reflects on my dashboard thing. Let me just have a quick look here. It resets. So you see total P&L for the Bitcoin bot and the Ethereum bot reset. Earlier on, this was like up 70%. Now it's zeroed out. And actually, you would see the new price range here as well. So this just goes to show you it's actually not too late. You're not going to see these P&L numbers become like 500% and you think everyone else is already in, way before me. The purpose of these bots is really to DCA in once you open the bot and then continue buying as it drops lower until the peak of the correction, the current correction, not the bear market low on Ethereum, like 1400, because we're most likely not going to 1400 anymore. That new level is 2200. So that's the range from current level 3589 to 2200. That's where I'll be buying, and that's what the bot does. Okay, and so far, just another caveat before I go into the other bots, we have only put into this total of $10,500. I plan to put a whole number once I have a better grasp of this performance over the long term, and if altcoin season can truly confirm over the next few weeks. If that happens, I plan to put this as a 100K portfolio challenge, just like before, and then we can take it from there. So for now, the numbers are kind of small, but I'm going to update you guys as well, where I'll be putting, instead of 3,000, I want to do an actual like meaningful amount of 30K instead of 3K, so that, I would be putting in a much larger chunk at a later time, so you guys know that wouldn't be too late. And then we can track the performance from there, because basically all of these P&Ls will be reset, because this is only up 2.7K total dollar amount, and compared to the 10K invested, that's up 26%, 33%. But compared to 100K, that'll only be like 2%. So these numbers are honestly doesn't impact me much at all right now, because I haven't put enough money into these yet. Anyways, so far it's good to see that percentage-wise they're working well. Okay, let's continue with the other bot updates. So we have Solana. So on Solana, we can use the same higher high, higher low structure like this. Low, high, higher low, higher high, and now we want a higher low. So you could target this $125 to $130 range like this. But I think that's a little bit too close, because when I first opened the bots in July 1st, I used a methodology of worst case scenario methodology. So I took this low on Solana BTC ratio, 0.00126. And then I took the Bitcoin 50-week simple moving average, the absolute lowest level I want to see. That was 86,000 then. Multiplying those two numbers gave me, I want to say like $100, $98. So because of that, I want to follow the same methodology. Solana right now is not doing as well as Ethereum, no matter how you look at it. Ethereum BTC chart, clear uptrend. Solana BTC chart, not there yet. Okay, so that's why I am not too confident in moving the lower range on Solana too high up at this moment. I still want to keep it relatively lower. So then I took the same methodology. Let's just get into that. That's basically this number. So I took the same Solana BTC ratio, the absolute bottom I want to see, which is right here, 0.00126. And then I take the new 50-week simple moving average on Bitcoin, 89,369. 369. That gave me $112.6. I think I took a slightly lower number than that. Yeah, 112 is the number I used for Solana's new lower range. I think that's pretty safe at current point. It's about halfway between these two lows. I don't think we are going to go below 100, even if we get a very significant correction on Bitcoin across the market, Solana shouldn't go below 100 anymore. That would be so weird. But this low at 130, it's only been not even 5 weeks. So yeah, I don't want to say that's super long-term support yet. And that's why I have it set at 112, which basically is this, like this. Even if it does this, it would still be kind of okay in some sense, because this uptrend isn't as convincing if you zoom out long enough. As long as we hold above this wick for sure, that's the last low at 95 that we used. But I think we shouldn't even wick into below $100 anymore. So this is a very, very conservative scenario on Solana for a support that I would still be considering okay. So that is Solana. The current levels are 112 as the support, $600 as the take profit. The rest stays the same, and this is still up quite a bit as well, 55, 56%. I'm just going to compound this really quick as well. Okay, so now that's compounded. And one other thing to know, when you're compounding these, the total investment amount that you see in your bots section will also be different. It will actually get adjusted up. So just make sure you know what your total portfolio worth has been. I've been tracking these manually because I don't want to count the compound investment as extra investment I put into it. Okay. That's on Solana. The other coin that I have adjusted the ranges for is XRP right here. So on XRP, it has gone very crazy this week. We all know this. And this is a very similar scenario to Ethereum now, where I am much more confident in moving the support levels up that I want to target on XRP compared to Solana, because this rally this week has been so strong, the last 3 weeks. So when we made the bot, it was only halfway through this candle, but now that we are here, we have already been above $3.50. I don't want to target here anymore. That's kind of insane. If the chart does this and then this, I mean, what's going on? So what I'm targeting now is, again, just basically the same. Higher highs, higher lows, but now we target this new higher low being made. The wick here is about $1.95. I'm not sure if that's the exact level. I use 189, so that would be below the wick. This wick came down to 191, so just below there is 189. That's what I used. And on the daily, this is also pretty clean level, except for this 1 day below. XRP has not traded below $1.90 since December 2024, since the election win. So all in all, very clean level, in my opinion. This is a new higher low, and this is a support that we have held for 7 months. So that's my new higher low, and that's my new support level that I'm targeting for my XRP bot, and that's what you see right here. $1.89 as the new bottom of the range, and the top of the range is still the same, $6. I have already compounded this. That's why the number is different, not $500 anymore. But yeah, there you go. That's on XRP. XRP shouldn't get below 190 anymore. That would be very weird. Okay. The other altcoins that I have in my portfolio, these three that you guys know from last week and 2 weeks ago, Superverse, Bittensor TAO, and PEPE, I did not change the price ranges on these yet. I only compounded them. Did I compound them? Maybe I didn't compound them yet. So I'll be compounding them shortly, but I'll show you why I didn't change the price ranges for them yet. So first of all, Superverse. On a long enough time frame, these are the levels that we have drawn. So the last support that we had for the entire bull market is at 35 cents, which is below this 2-year long range. And the take profit I have is basically previous all-time high. Now, in order for me to move this up, we at least need to see a uptrend being formed on the weekly, because this range has been 2 years. And every time that we jump the gun too early, it might have been a mistake, because let's say we move the range, the support level up to here. What happens is on the weekly time frame, yes, there is a low and there is a higher low. This is a high, but we don't have a new higher high yet. So by following classic trend theory, TAO theory of trends, this isn't a uptrend confirmed yet. There's only a higher low, but there isn't a new higher high yet. So this applies the same to Bittensor and PEPE. I'll show you in a bit. So what I really want to see on Super and some of the other altcoins is for it to make this next move. If we can convincingly get above 95 cents to like $1 range, then we wouldn't target 35 cents anymore. We would target this higher low here because of the strength. Then I will move my range, buy range up to 46 cents. So that's why so far I haven't changed the ranges yet on Super. It's still at 35 cents that I want to continue buying, because hypothetically, if the market corrects a lot on Bitcoin, Super could take some time to correct along with every other altcoin. And maybe it does something like this, and that will still be okay. And then if you set your thing here that you're very strict about, that could lead to a mistake. So that's why I want to target it down here. Okay. Same thing for Bittensor TAO. You see these charts are very similar. The last support that we were targeting, I believe it's just this. Let me check. TAO 160. So just below this wick. It's kind of tempting to move it up to all the way to 294. But again, we have this low, we have a high, but this didn't even get as high as this yet, 460. We're only at 427 on the weekly. So yeah, I want to see a bit more strength and actually a breakout on Bittensor before moving it up to maybe here. So we'll see. Maybe we can even take these two lows as the next target, just to give ourselves more leeway. So that's why, yeah, haven't changed my buy levels on Bittensor. What this translates to is basically you have quite a bit more time to buy, unless the market just goes crazy. So far, Bittensor hasn't done insane numbers yet, comparatively speaking, with Ethereum already being up 50% over the past few weeks. Bittensor is like less than 5% of the market cap of Ethereum, but it hasn't done that much. These few weeks has been kind of underwhelming. So that's why, you know, I'll be totally okay if it just does more chop like this. Maybe that's a little bit confusing. Maybe something like this. That's all okay. I wouldn't say that's bearish. Finally, PEPE. Very similar scenario you see right here. So some of the levels that we had. The last low is below this range that we used as support to buy. I'm not going to move it up to here because, again, this isn't a full uptrend yet. We want to see a convincing breakout above 0.014. This is 1,000 PEPE, so add 3 more zeros to the zeros here, and you have your real unit price level. So if this comes, then I'll feel much more comfortable to be buying PEPE more aggressively on the dip and only targeting 0.009 as the support level. So far, I still want to target something like 0.005-ish. just to give myself leeway. Okay. So these are the coins that I have already covered in the bots. Now let's do some new ones. I went through basically top 10. I also did Hyperliquid as an example for a coin that I'm not sure if it's worth holding super long term, but still you can use these bots for some short-term trades as well. So let's take a look. Let's start off with BNB. I think BNB is very undervalued right now. First of all, like everyone knows BNB, the business is very sound. BNB valuation compared to Bitcoin is pretty crazy. This is December 2023. This was when Bitcoin was trading at 20 to 30K. By December 2023, it was barely 40K. And BNB compared to Bitcoin ratio then was 0.0055. Now it's 0.0065. And just 2 weeks ago, it was trading at the exact same level. Similarly, we had a low down here in the January peak of the crash. So all in all, BNB is at a very good value spot compared to the rest of the market. I'm not sure if there is a BNB dominance chart. There is. So BNB dominance chart, you'll see similar. So that's why I think out of the blue chips, BNB really good buy right now. And that's why I wanted to set some levels. Just a quick catalyst for you guys that's coming up. The World Liberty, Trump's stablecoin project is going to be launching pretty soon, within 2 months that they said. And their stablecoin, most of the supply, 99% of it is issued on BNB. So they are the close partner for it. That could drive some hype for BNB coming up within 2 months. So in terms of actual dollar term targets, I believe I targeted just these lows, if I'm not mistaken. No, I used 600. So I even targeted this low right here because all things considered, this low was when Bitcoin was at 107K-ish and BNB BTC ratio was still at bear market lows. So I made a pretty aggressive bot entry on BNB because its valuation compared to the rest of the market is just super cheap. So I think it's a really good spot. So my low range on BNB right now is 600. I don't want to target these levels. Like you can see some wicks at 523 and then 3 wicks here 480. If it goes down there again, especially with this World Liberty catalyst coming up, then that would basically break below the bear market lows we made on BNB BTC chart. That would look terrible if BNB does this compared to Bitcoin. That's kind of insane. So I don't think that's a likely scenario. That's why I'm not targeting these lows or these lows. I'm just using this one pretty aggressively at 600 as the buy range. And I say aggressive, but still, we are already at $770. So from here till 600, that is percentage-wise 20%. Decent for a correction target. Okay, to compensate with this, I don't have some crazy upside target that gives you just a very weird chart where I'll be buying within 20% margin and targeting 5x on top. I only set the bot target to be at 1K. So this gives us, although a tight entry, it gives us quite a bit of safe exit as well. So if all things go well, this bot should be able to resolve itself this year, even the next couple months with this World Liberty stuff, where at least we get a bounce on BNB BTC. Let's say it goes up 20%, 28%, which is matching this, 29%. So let's say it goes up 29% to these resistance range up here. It doesn't even need to be a macro bull market on BNB BTC ratio. It just needs to do this with some catalyst from the World Liberty project. And then that will be good. So this bot will basically take advantage of all the volatility. Where's the bot? This one. So you see all the trades that's orders being placed. It continues to buy from current price all the way down to, it's not showing the rest, but it will buy continue until 600 and it will sell continued until 1000. I think this bot will either end up with a large BNB position with some average entry, in the low 600s, or within a couple months, it will have already taken the full profit at 1K. So that's a scenario that you could use if you are not sure of long-term performance, super long-term performance on a coin, but you can set it like this. And one thing to note is this bot has a little bit less grids, 150 grids instead of 500, the usual I use, because we're not targeting 10K on Ethereum, which is 3x away, or on Solana, 600 on Solana, also 3x away. This is only 30% gain and 20% downside. So a tighter range. That's why we got to use less grids. Otherwise, it's just the optimal settings. Okay, so that's on BNB. If BNB manages to go into a macro uptrend against Bitcoin, which it hasn't been able to do for 2 years, but let's say it does, then we can open a longer term bot and try to find some high-end valuation targets for BNB, maybe targeting all-time high for BNB BTC, although that's a bit unlikely given the diminishing returns of most altcoins compared to Bitcoin. So yeah, playing it one level at a time. Next, we have, which bot? We have Cardano. The levels I have here, low end 50 cents, high end $3. Let's take a look. So I also covered my stance on Cardano of how it's quite undervalued right now compared to BTC and the rest of the market. I believe I covered this 2 live streams ago. Among the top 10 blue chip alts, this is one of the craziest charts, one of the cleanest charts as well. Because look at this. Cardano is not exactly at 2019 level lows compared to Bitcoin, but this is about the same as December 2020 levels, right before the bull run, the last bull run started for altcoins. And it just came down to test the same level that we had right before Trump won the elections. So all in all of this is upside, whereas the downside, you just target this low and even this recent one. This is technically a new higher low. This is a weekly chart, so very long term. So the last low is 479 on BTC ratio. Now it's 516. You have few ways you can play this. You can target these as a short-term take profit, or you can just go all the way until, whatever bull market targets you have, depending on how much of a Cardano bull you are. So I'm not saying like Cardano needs to go back to previous all-time high compared to Bitcoin, but it's down there right now. If you're buying Cardano now compared to everything else, it's very, very cheap. So that's why I have started a Cardano bot, and I believe I have a Cardano chart here. I don't. Let's just do ADA USD here. So targeting these lows, not the bear market lows down here, because this is a macro uptrend already on Cardano USD chart. So these triple bottoms, right here that we made over the last 6 months, I'm targeting that and just going right below there at 50 cents. This is my level I want to target for the next buy. So basically what the bot is doing now is when you open it, it buys a little bit of Cardano and it will continue to buy if price drops like this. And take profit, I have set at actually $3, previous all-time high on dollar value, not on Bitcoin value, okay? Because comparatively, in 2021, September 2021, Bitcoin was 73K. Now, this cycle top, Bitcoin is going to be 200K. So the ADA BTC chart, I don't think this is ever going back here again. But ADA USD chart, previous all-time high, not a bad idea to target. In terms of ratios, you can calculate that yourself. You don't want to dig into it too much. Just, you want to be bullish on Cardano right now. It's honestly so cheap. In the blue chip ranges, all the coins that have ETFs that are not securities, that have been around for multiple cycles, when you look at all of them, Cardano is just, I mean, it doesn't do much. I know what you guys will say, right? I can't believe you're saying Cardano is a good buy, but compared to the rest of the market, it's just very cheap right now. Okay, so that's on ADA, and how many more do I have? Let me just go, 3 more. Let me go through these quickly. Dogecoin. We already have a bot for PEPE. This is the meme of my choice. We obviously need one for Doge. Everyone wants to trade Doge, and Doge always comes back every cycle. So on Doge, this is the, first of all, let's look at the BTC ratio for Doge. It did look kind of bad in June, where these two lows have been broken. But then we had this candle where just it completely erased that. So I wouldn't say this was that bad. When you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 week it took to get down here, and then 4 weeks to erase all of that. When you look on monthly, this will be a bullish engulfing candle, these two. So you have a breakdown, but then a big bullish candle to engulf the previous bearish candle. So this is a pretty good bottoming signal on Doge BTC ratio chart. All in all, I wouldn't count this as a breakdown. It's more like a bear trap right here. So that's why still, I think Doge is going to make a comeback this cycle. Now, in terms of Doge dollar chart, these lows, I don't think we're going down there, although it's nice to use these as a liquidation target. So for the extra margin ratio that I have set in the Doge bot, you see this one right here, estimated liquidation price 4.5 cents. So I put a lot of extra margin in this bot because that gives us 4.5 cents, which is like down here for liquidation. And this is below August 2022 levels. So we're not going there. This is a very safe bot. That's what I want to make it. In terms of price, let's look at log. This is on log. So I'm targeting these two lows. I think that's the level I used. Since the election run, pretty decent correction so far. Didn't revisit the previous higher low, so this is good. Technically, again, trend. But when you look at these two levels, this is a inverse, not inverse, head and shoulders, double bottom. And now the neckline just got broken and we're coming back down to retest the neckline. So this is a really good, I wouldn't say textbook trade, where you have a neckline breakout. You start to enter when the neckline flips into support, but usually it's not as clean as it just bounces right from here. It will dip and then dip and then dip. I have been seeing about 50% into the previous range like this. So to draw some cleaner charts, What's more likely is something like this. Okay, and then you have the middle of the range around there. So you have this double bottom pattern. You have this neckline gets broken, it comes down to retest. A lot of people enter too heavily here. In reality, most of the time in crypto, you want to enter a little bit on these retests, and then you want to continue to buy. Usually it comes down to the middle of the range. So the bot will actually do exactly that. I have just opened it. It buys a little bit of Doge, and it will continue to buy until down here. Most likely we won't get down there, so you'll get some sort of entry within this range, which is pretty ideal. Actual levels here, 0.13 as the bottom of the range that I want to buy, and the top of the range to take profit is the previous all-time high at 75 cents up here. Pretty simple. If we get an altcoin bull market, retail comes back into altcoins, they're going to buy Doge. Don't overthink it. It's the number one meme. And even compared to PEPE, for example, Doge is the only meme with its own chain. So if we're talking about institutional adoption like of Dogecoin, whatever that means, but if we get some sort of ETF for a meme, it's going to be Doge. It's not going to be Pengu first or PEPE first or anything else, simply because Doge is proof of work as a layer one blockchain by itself. It has been around for forever. Its supply is super decentralized. Its consensus is very decentralized. So it fits all the purpose. Doge is just like Litecoin, but it has a funny name for it. So if we have a Bitcoin and Litecoin ETF, Dogecoin ETF is super easy to approve for the regulators. Okay, so that's on Doge. And finally, I have two other. So Tron. I don't have very far targets for Tron. So let me show you what that looks like right now. It's because, I mean, Tron's chart is weird. It just continues to go up very, very slowly. It never really dropped for the last 2 years, even though it also didn't outperform Bitcoin. So this is the Tron BTC chart. Since about 2023, it just did okay. It basically was going sideways against Bitcoin. What that meant is since Bitcoin is up about 4x, Tron is up about 4x over the last 2 years. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. It's okay, but that leaves me kind of in a conundrum because I can't really target these levels for Tron and say, oh yeah, we're going to buy it until it reaches 5 cents. So I have a pretty tight range for it. I believe I used just the last 7 months of price history like this. So the peak of the Trump hype is when Justin Sun publicly got a lot of support from the World Liberty team, from the Trump family, and they seem to be, Justin Sun went to the Trump dinner, for example. He was the largest Trump holder, so it really looked like the Tron chain was getting some special treatment from Trump's crypto endeavors, and that led to this wick. So I'm using that as just whatever take profit, let's say end of this year, so at 42 cents ish. And I'm using the correction we had over Q1 after the Trump hype came down. That's at 21 cents. So that's the range you see right here, 20.9 cents as the low end of the range in terms of buy target, and the high end target is just 42 cents. And this one also has a bit less grids, not 500, only 200 grids, because the range here is quite a bit smaller. I want to play this one level at a time as well. There's a lot of uncertainty when, especially with this stablecoin stuff that's coming up. Tether just announced this week that they are getting more regulated and bringing USDT onshore into the US. So what's going to happen to Tron and their offshore, tether supply? I'm not sure. There's a lot of things that could go either way. And with World Liberty launching, are they going to keep supporting Tron because it actually goes against what the Genius Act regulation is? So I don't know. Want to play it one step at a time. Okay, finally, kind of a outstanding, not in terms of how good it is, but just unique example is Hyperliquid. So I'm not too bullish on Hyperliquid. I'm going to be frank with you. A lot of people like to trade Hyperliquid. I don't think it deserves to be in the top 10 compared to these guys. I mean, how long has Hyperliquid been around? You're going to compare like Hyperliquid to the Cardano army that's survived 8 years, or Tron from ICOs, or Dogecoin that's like 10-year-old coin, Solana, like, I don't know. So I don't think Hyperliquid should move into the top 10. So that's why I don't want to hold it as a long-term bull market coin. However, a lot of people like to trade it, so we can still make a strategy. So here's what I have. For Hyperliquid, I actually have the buy target quite a bit lower than the current level, and then the sell target pretty close. So $31 to $50 is my range. On the actual charts, do I have hype here? I don't. Let me just show it to you on Pinex directly. So this is what I have. So grids, 31 low end, 50 high end, 200 grids. This is what it looks like. So the bot will actually, let me do a little bit less grids the bot will buy quite a bit more, but quite a bit deeper as price comes down all the way until $31. And it will sell more aggressively until just the July high at $50. This is what my Hyperliquid trading bot does. Once it gets above $50, I'm totally okay to miss the gains on Hyperliquid. I would rather put whatever I have in this bot into Cardano or BNB or XRP, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin. I think all of those will outperform Hyperliquid once it gets above $50. That's my opinion. If you're a big Hyperliquid fan, obviously you can disagree. I don't care and I don't mind. But if it doesn't get back to 50, I think all of this is good and possible ranges to buy all the way until 31, because given these two lows. So that's what I have on Hyperliquid. It's more of a bull market. What do you call this? Like neutral bullish strategy. This bot, it's still long based. Look at this, this setting here on the top right. It's a long bot. So there is no risk of shorts and getting liquidated on a short position. None of these red grids are short sells. They are only take profit orders on my current hype position. It's just that they are taking profit much more aggressively and much more quickly. So I think this is a good balance. This bot will not short hype. That's a bad idea. We are in a bull market. You don't want to short any coin. However, if you're not too bullish on a coin because you think it's kind of run its course compared to the rest of the like similar market cap coins, you can do something like this. You can set the take profits to be closer and then the buys to be further. So you have much more leeway. And what I'm expecting going forward is just like Hyperliquid to do something like this, right? And it will maybe like remain in top 20, and then I can capture all of this volatility. And if it gets low into these ranges, that's fine. I think there's still some upside to it. But if it gets all the way until, $45, $50, I'm happy to miss out on all the maybe upside that can come after that. So that's what my Hyperliquid bot is designed to do. And yeah, that just goes to show you this is the kind of setting you can do using these bots. If you don't want to be extra bullish on a coin and you think it's kind of time to take profit on it. This is what you can do. Okay, that is it. That's all of the bots that I have. Again, you can find a full tutorial of how to use PoundX with the first link in the description. You can find this exact spreadsheet using probably the second link in the description. And you have this dashboard with all the links to copy also in the description. And this should be updated pretty soon, probably today, with the new bots that I have opened up. Okay, that's everything I wanted to cover. Just pure TA today, pure entry ranges. Let's see how it goes. I'm not trading with super high leverage on low cap to mid caps yet, because this week is pretty crucial for Bitcoin dominance. Let's see if Bitcoin dominance can hold low and get lower than this level. It's a bit of a decision week with this happening, with Ethereum, BTC potentially coming down for the first correction, Ethereum USD reaching resistance. And then we also have a big uncertainty event with the next FOMC on the July 30th. All in all, not the time to be aping too quickly. It's the time to be looking at blue chips. Follow me on X at VirtualBacon 0x, because that's where I will be posting my text form updates for these bots and their range updates. And you can, of course, follow my sheet that you can always find in the link in the description for my update logs, or you can join our trading community, the Coiners. I'll be sending regular updates in there as well. Okay, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you guys for joining the live stream and watching the video. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.